Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to this exciting new webinar with Heather Summers, who is with us today, and I will switch the camera to her shortly. We're going to have an interview with her, and she's going to share her experience with the use of Business Hangouts for Google Apps trainings in particular. You know that Business Hangouts can be used in different environments. This is one application that she will explain to us how she runs that and what are the challenges and benefits. In the second part of today's presentation, I'm going to present an overview of Business Hangouts for those of you who are new or need an update of what we're doing, especially including some of the latest features that we have added to it. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Heather Summers. Hello, Heather.
Hello. Thank you so much for letting me join you, Darius. I'm very excited.
Thank you so much. And we have also Guillaume here today.
Hello.
Our technical lead that many of you know. So let's have a conversation with Heather. Heather, can you please tell us a little bit about what you do in general before getting into Business Hangouts and your Google Apps trainings?
Okay. I am what's called a cloud employee. As you can see, I work from home, and I do webinars mostly all day and have a lot of meetings through Google Hangouts. I typically do not go into an office. I do not get to be with other human beings or colleagues. So it's a lot of me just working here at home and doing different things.
A virtual presenter and trainer and consultant and speaker. So yeah. That's exciting. So how did you get to know about Business Hangouts? How were you exposed about, and what was your journey with Business Hangouts, basically?
So I happened to be looking for a product that worked on Hangouts, because a lot of times my situation, I need to train more than 10, 15, 20 people. So typically I was looking for something that would replace WebEx or GoToWebinar just for ease of use and the ability to use it. And funny enough, I found Business Hangouts through a colleague. They said, oh yeah, there's this great product where it has chat feature, you can record it, and it works on Hangouts. So because of the name, I thought, oh, this must be a Google product, and then I realized it wasn't a Google product, and it had all these great features that incorporated the Google products I was already training. So it was very exciting for me.
Fabulous. So how long did it take for you to learn? I mean, between the time you started playing and when you ran your first little meeting with others, you know, what was your own training journey?
So it was really exciting, is that I had, thankfully, you to train me. So I did a lot of this self-training on the website, but I was able to get a lot of training from you personally, so that was really exciting for me, and to see tips and tricks from somebody who knew the ropes. And then the other exciting thing about it was I didn't only just learn the product, I started teaching others about the product, because my customers were asking, so what are you using? And I would tell them Business Hangouts, and they would say, well, how do I get that, and how do I use it? And so I learned even more teaching other people about the product.
That's always the case. You know, when you start teaching others, you're obliged to learn those things which are missing, or even sometimes they ask questions, and so that's how we become experts in any product we know. So tell us a little bit specifically about Google Apps trainings. Obviously, Google has Hangouts and Google has Hangouts on Air, but there is nothing in between, like Business Hangouts allowing private sessions with large numbers with recording. So I guess these are the main features that are necessary in your case. Can you confirm that, or maybe are there other features?
So one of the exciting things about Business Hangouts for me is I wasn't really using Hangouts or Hangouts on Air for my training because they're private to certain customers. I work with enterprise level customers, and they do not want their private training sessions broadcast to the world, which is understandable. And so when I was using their systems, which are, go to WebEx and go to Webinar, is there was a lot of difficulty in getting the video, editing the video. Once I created it, then I had to do all these extra steps. The nice thing that I loved about Business Hangouts is it went right into YouTube, and I could edit it using the YouTube abilities of tools. And the other thing is I could give someone a link right after the training. There wasn't an hour of me spending downloading the video, then uploading it to a system where they can have access to it, and again, not being able to really edit it without another third piece of software. So this just streamlined my whole process. I was able to train and then give my client a video right afterward. Typically, I also give them the PowerPoint presentation or a Google presentation that I use, depending on what platform I'm on, and that one helps me too. But that, for me, my presentations are just cue cards for me to tell me what to touch on. So the video helps immensely for my clients. They are able to watch it at their leisure. They're able to see what's going on, and a lot of the other platforms that I had been using, they had different levels for the size of crowd, right? So there was go to training, go to webinar, go to webcast. You had all these different layers, and you had to pay more to get to that layer and so forth, which was fine, but then I had to have a different account, different login, and so forth. So I love with Business Hangouts, it's one-stop shopping. I can do whatever I need to do on any level. So I can do 25 people, or I can do 200 people, and it's one login. So that to me was really exciting.
Great. And how about what was the range of number of people? You mentioned between 25 and 200, but I guess the average is maybe in the 30s or something like that? Or?
Yes. So anywhere from 30 to 60 people is probably my average training range. But as we have discussed in the past, I worked with Appirio, who is one of Google's premier partners, and they're a reseller. And we were on a client called Roche Genentech. It was a global client. So sometimes I had 200 people in a webinar. I foresee that happening again because I'm working with another global client, and I've seen as many as 800 on a Business Hangout session. So it's pretty exciting, the level of capacity that we can do with Business Hangouts.
Wonderful. And can you tell us a little bit about the interactions? It's not easy to have 60 people in a virtual classroom. Obviously, people have always technical challenges with their computer. They can have audio, video challenges with their peripherals, and then inside the training itself, they have questions and so on. Can you give the audience maybe a couple of tips that have been successful for you that you would like to share?
So one of the exciting things that I found with using the other products, i.e. GoToWebinar and WebEx, is a lot of times I, as the presenter, had to slow down significantly because of the lag between the audio and the video. So for me, the slide would be on a certain area, or I would be inside the Gmail showing them the settings, and my audio would be there, but then the video would not be in sync with it. What I love about Business Hangouts and using the YouTube capability is my audio and video are always in sync. Some of the technical difficulties that some people have, because again, I am training globally, is their bandwidth, how their particular scenario is working. So we send out a little YouTube frequently asked questions sheet that tells you how to adjust your bandwidth inside of the YouTube window, how to refresh your screen if you're having lag or if it's blurry. So we try to give them as many tips as possible. And one of the big things that I always recommend when doing webinars is having someone like Guillaume moderating the chat, because you're going to get tons of questions that are not going to be about the material, and if you're constantly having to go to that chat and answer those questions, it does interrupt your flow and mess up how you're interacting with the audience. So I've seen this with other of my colleagues. ProSci is a change management company. They do webinars all the time. They always have someone manning the chat so that that person can answer the questions. And it's something that I have adopted myself.
Absolutely. This is a very one of the best practices with a virtual and video everything. This is fantastic, a great tool. It's like in-person meetings, but there are some practices like the one you mentioned that is the host's responsibility. So the trainer, in case of a training, or host responsibility to make sure that it is communicated, as you mentioned, ahead of time through documents, videos, and so on, and live through what we're doing, for instance now. This is fabulous. What else? Anything else you would like to share before we get we pick some of the questions, Heather?
Well, I mean, this is kind of on the line of one of the questions that I noticed was the go-to-meeting question. So one of the big things that I had with training, especially really large groups, is the sound. So someone would always not remember to mute their sound. I had to constantly think about who was muted, who wasn't. I need to make sure everyone's muted before I started. What I love about Business Hangouts is they've taken that completely out of the picture. I don't have to worry about muting people. If I want to bring someone into the presentation, I can invite them and I can answer their question that way. So it's another really exciting thing for me as a presenter, one less thing to have to think about when I start the meeting.
Great, great. And what feedback do you get from users, especially from those who have been in different environments? What do they like, and what are the challenges, if any, compared to your other platforms' experiences?
So I've been working with a private company, and they had YouTube turned off. So that was a huge hurdle for us at first. Thankfully, because of Business Hangouts, we were able to get YouTube turned on. A lot of their other training videos were also in YouTube, so it was just another reason for them to turn YouTube on. So that was one of the hurdles. The real thing I've had is the lack of hurdles. Most of the end users don't notice the difference between GoToMeeting, WebEx, or Business Hangouts. It's been pretty seamless for them as the end user. What I've found is my clients who are interested in Business Hangouts, the whole video aspect. We all love that. The fact that you can get the video, you can share the video. It's a very simple process. If you've ever tried to download a WebEx video, you know it's completely painful. Or even go to webinars is not the easiest thing. So, as the person watching the video, I don't think there's a whole lot of differences. One of the suggestions that you had given me, which I found was super helpful, was changing my Google Slides to 16 by 10, just filling up the screen more. Some people had complained at the very beginning about the real estate being different. But, as a presenter, I try to give them everything they want, but it's really a tool about how easy it is to present the material. And that, for me, is Business Hangouts.
Yeah, you mentioned the better video interactions and better presence of video. That's what we hear from almost all former GoToMeeting or former WebEx users. The whole experience is more in person, and the quality of the video. And the reason is simple, is because this is based on Google Hangouts and Hangouts on Air, and these products are natively video-centric, while WebEx and GoToMeeting, they have been developed, their older products, and video was added on later, and they are not video-centric. They are slide-centric,
Right.
Sometimes boring. So video creates the dynamism of the video and the in-person thing. So that's great. Thank you very much, Heather, for all the explanations. Let's get some of the questions we have here. Let me switch to the presentation mode and get some of these questions here on my screen. So a question from Aaron. Comparison with GoToMeeting. I have a full slide about that, but go ahead, Heather, and I will add some stuff there as well.
So, as I was saying before, I can't do a lot of slide presentations with static slides. If you guys hopefully are all on Google, you'll know that Google changes so frequently that if I do a screenshot, by next week the screenshot may be out of date. And so a lot of mine is presentations, is showing you actually a live screen demo of my Gmail. And so the video aspect of it is huge for me. And being that it was a live environment and not a static slide, it was incredibly important that my voice and the video be in sync. So when I was using WebEx and GoToWebinar, that lag between my voice and what you were seeing on screen was huge. And I had to really slow down in order to show people or demonstrate things within the product. So I found with having the video and the audio in sync has been a huge difference for me. I will tell you, from the end user standpoint, the products are pretty much similar. It's really the presenter that's going to see the difference. So for me, not having to turn the audio off is a huge advantage. Not having to do so many extra steps with getting my client the video is a huge advantage. Having the YouTube video editing aspect is a huge advantage. So those are all things that I use. Obviously, it depends on the crowd and who you're working with. Because all my clients are already on Google, this is a really nice selling point for them, because they are looking for products that work inside the Google environment. And WebEx is a separate thing they have to go to, and so same thing with GoToWebinar. They'll have to go to a separate product.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for the end user, as you mentioned, the difference is only on the video, not much differences. Difference is for the host, as you mentioned. I fully agree. And here we have a detailed comparison with GoToMeeting in terms of pricing, which is another aspect, which of course affects again the host, the presenter. And basically you have more features and more capabilities at a lower cost. If you look at the basic plan, for instance, it's 3 times the cost of Business Hangouts Pro, with the fact that, for instance, the number of simultaneous HD videos that you can have in GoToMeeting is limited to 6. Here you have more, and it's totally brandable and customizable. So we have the most popular plan that most of our users use, the $49 plan, the business plan, and also GoToWebinar, which is that also the most popular product from GoToMeeting. If you compare them, you can have twice more attendees. The capacity of the room is twice more. The number of speakers or co-trainers or those who want to come and ask questions can be twice more, and the price is twice less. So that's a rule that you can see for most of the GoToMeeting versus Business Hangouts comparison. And on the high end, we can go up to 6,000 in a webcast. That one of them is one of Heather's client, where we did a webcast recently, and it was amazing. Broadcast to thousands of employees, and all that again at a fraction of the cost of what you have with GoToMeeting. So big difference for the host, not only in terms of technical features but also price.
Yes, and as a single entrepreneur, the price was huge for me. There was a lot of products that I couldn't use because of it, and I had to rely on the client a lot of times. And if you've ever had to try to get WebEx account information from a client, it's not easy. So they do not want to give you their account credentials. So it's a lot easier for me to have an account myself.
Wonderful, great. So another question real quick. So Aaron is asking if there is a screen sharing. I just used it, Aaron, so absolutely yes. When interfacing with YouTube, does it automatically upload the video to YouTube, or do you have to initiate it? I let you answer that, Heather.
So yes, it does. It automatically loads it to YouTube. It's private to you, and so you can share it with whomever you want. Also, the link that they use to come into the meeting is the same link that will take them to the YouTube video after your presentation. So I've noticed that's not quite as immediate to use that link right after the meeting. So what I a lot of times will do is go and send them the link myself from the YouTube video, but if you wait like an hour, it usually works just fine.
Another quick question. There are a lot of features questions here. So you want to handle this one, Heather?
Yes. So they're asking about putting the question up on the screen. So you guys aren't using the active product, but there's an eyeball on the screen for you as the presenter, and then there's an eyeball icon next to people's chat comments. And so if you click on the eyeball on the screen where they're chatting, and then click on your eyeball as the presenter, then you'll be able to see it on the screen. So that's one of the favorites of all my clients, is being able to see the question. Something that Darius had highlighted on, we had a huge meeting, right? It was a webcast meeting, and we thought we were going to have a couple thousand, and we had just shy of 1,000 people. And the person who was doing the presentation was so excited because he had done these types of things in live rooms before, and he had done presentations through WebEx and using an audio link conference call, and no one ever asked any questions. Here we had a huge crowd, so none of us expected any questions, and we got a ton of questions from people that were about the presentation. Some were not about the presentation. And what I always thought is that companies didn't want hard questions. No, they're thrilled to have any questions. They don't care the content of the question. So it's a great aspect here that you can present it. One of the other cool features of this is that you can have a moderated chat or an unmoderated chat. You don't get that in GoToMeeting or WebEx. You only have one choice. As the moderator, I can see everything that people write, and then you as the viewer can choose if you want to just ask me a question or if you want to broadcast it to the whole crowd. But as a host on Business Hangouts, I can choose if I want everyone to see all the questions or not see all the questions. So especially in a large meeting where you don't know what kind of questions you're getting, maybe you don't want everyone to see the questions because maybe you're not going to answer a question about HR or the fact that you're cutting benefits. But in a meeting where you do want to have everyone see the question because they're asking about the presentation, it's a great way, and then other people can know, oh, we don't get 20 questions about, are we going to get spring break off and that type of thing. So how do you invite other people to join Business Hangouts as viewers? So you get a link when you create a Business Hangout that allows you to give that link to other people. They've already shortened it for you, so it's not a really long URL like you normally get in Google. But if you want the long one, you can go into the Manage your customizations, and then you can give them the longer link. There's a registration link, and then there's a meeting link. So I typically, because of Darius, give everyone the registration link, which is the same as the shortened link that you get when you create a GoToMeeting. A Business Hangout. Sorry, you got me saying about GoToMeeting so much. Business Hangout, they're interchangeable. Business Hangouts gives you that shortened link, but that's the same thing as the registration link. If you want someone to come right into the meeting and you don't want them to register for some reason, you can use the meeting link. And the other really exciting thing about Business Hangouts versus regular Hangouts is you don't have to have a Google account. Someone asked that. You do not have to be on the Google platform in order to participate in a Business Hangout. You can be on any platform. And you can have them go right in with a Google Plus account or Google account, or you can have them enter their email and go in that way. So it's a great way to have people interact. And the company I'm working with presently, some of them are still what we call a legacy system, which is Microsoft Outlook, and some people are already on Gmail. So we're in the middle of the migration, so not everybody's on the same platform. So the fact that we can use Business Hangouts and not everybody has to be on Google is a huge advantage.
Yeah, you can notice actually in the viewers section, we have people who have signed in with Facebook. Look at the lower right corner of each one's profile picture. Those who have joined with Google Plus are G Plus red, and then you have that blue Facebook, and then we even have a couple of people from LinkedIn, joined in from LinkedIn. So it's by itself an amazing environment where you can have a unified chat. That's why it's called a unified chat, where people from different sign-ins can chat with each other and with us, of course. And about bringing questions to the screen, this is very important. Not only it makes a training interactive, but also in the webinars like this one, it allows people to be present and participate more proactively to your event.
So the other really exciting thing about seeing the questions is, as a presenter, especially with a huge long question, sometimes you don't want to read that huge question to everyone, so having it on the screen is a huge advantage. Yeah,
sometimes they miss it or didn't understand the questions, and when it is in writing is always good. Great. Any last comment before we switch to my short overview of Business Hangouts, Heather?
Oh, I was just gonna say, you were so gracious in my telling about me, but so those of you who didn't understand what I do is I'm a Google Apps consultant, so I bring people over from Outlook over to Google and I train them on that part of it. I don't do the technical part of migrating them. I teach them once they have migrated, and I work with large resellers in the United States and globally. So one of the exciting things that you'll find about Business Hangouts, I think, is just the interactivity of the Google aspect. It goes onto your Google Calendar. You can use it with Google Hangouts. You can jump into a Business Hangout at any time if you're in a regular Hangout and say, hey, I want to change this to a Business Hangout because we all need to chat and I want to have a record of it. So there's some exciting aspects of it with the Google platform. And thank you for having me, Darius.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Heather. It was really helpful. As you noticed, there were a lot of questions, and many people, some of them I recognize actually are Google Apps customers using Google Apps, and I'm sure they have the challenges of what is the best which platform is the best integrated or adapted in the Google Apps environment. So I think you got the point of the benefits of the Business Hangouts, and thank you very much for having explained as usual in an easy manner to the audience. So feel free to stay with us for the rest of the webinar, or if you need to go, no problem.
I appreciate it. I'll probably stay a few minutes because I always learn something when you present. So.
Thank you so much. Let me share some of the slides, and I'm going to use another feature today for the slides that sometimes I use, sometimes I don't use. So just to give you a variety of choices, I'm going to start with the slideshow here, and just doing a little bit of adjustments here, and going through this overview of the slides, where I'm going to talk about Business Hangouts and the features in a 15-minute presentation. So a few words about the company. We are a small company with offices in Irvine, California, where I am right now, and Paris, France. We have all sorts of customers, from individuals and freelancers and consultants up to larger Fortune 500 and even Fortune 100 customers. And all we do is about virtual, visual collaboration technologies like Business Hangouts and associated services there. Here's a comparison of Business Hangouts compared to, let's say, general market, compared to WebEx, GoToMeeting, and some other products. As you can see in the first line, one of the biggest differences is the capacity. We can go up to 6,000 simultaneous viewers. In one hand, thanks to the YouTube technology, and in the other hand, our own servers, cloud-based solutions, which allows to manage very large numbers. The number of simultaneous videos in a Hangout on Air can be 15 right now. With other systems, it's limited. You can have other apps and tools in the Hangouts environment. For instance, there is a special effects app which allows you to, incorporate applause for some of the videos that you want to make. They are all available. So there is a ecosystem, Google's ecosystems of apps, which is available. And finally, in terms of pricing, we are providing much more features at a lower cost, as I mentioned earlier with GoToMeeting. This is the slide that I already showed, so I've already shown, so I'm not going to detail it too much for those who joined us. As you can see here, basically we provide more capacities and more features in each category for a fraction of the cost of GoToMeeting, which is a leading a provider and in the market since long time. So that's why we usually take it as a reference, and people ask questions versus GoToMeeting. So one of the questions, especially from those of you who know Google Apps, is where does Business Hangouts stand versus Hangouts and Hangouts on Air? Basically, you have Hangouts, which is a good tool for private and small meetings, which doesn't require recording, and Hangouts on Air, which is recorded on YouTube, but it is totally public and it's for large numbers. There is nothing in between, and that's where Business Hangouts basically comes into the scene. And of course, Business Hangouts also allows you to run small and private meetings and large and public. But more importantly, it allows you to run large and private meetings in a secured environment, private secured environment, with a lot of additional features. Not just that, but also a list of features like those that you're seeing here, where basically it extends the Hangouts capacity beyond those 15 persons, thanks to the viewers. Right now we are 40 people. We have 37 viewers at the time I'm showing this, and 3 participants, so a total of 40 people right now, which wouldn't be possible with Hangouts. And on top of that, we're recording this, and it's all private. So the host, myself, I have access to each of you in detail and can authenticate that thanks to the sign-ins that we have. Another benefit is that you can run self-registered meetings. Put up a registration page and invite your audience through social media or through your own emailings to register. They self-register and receive their confirmation by email. So next point is that it's email-centric, so you don't rely on Google Plus user interface. Actually, Google Plus is not present at all in our communications. You have noticed today that you walked in probably through our website or through an invitation email or the reminders, and you don't go through the Google Plus user interface. So that social part is a part. If you want to make part of it, you can do. If you want to stay out of the social network environments, you can do it as well. So it's we mentioned this, it's multi sign-ins. We have today, as you can see, people signed in with Facebook and LinkedIn, not just Google Plus. For this event today, I didn't allow signing with just emails, but that's another option. You can allow people to sign in just with an email. Many use it. Heather mentioned that in her case, sometimes they use it. Another benefit versus other pure Google environment is that you can see exactly who is watching at a given time and how much they have spent. So you have full statistics and analytics out of your event to see your attendees and their time of attendance. The unified chat that we used heavily from the beginning of this webinar, interacting with the attendees, bringing questions to the screen and so on, is very powerful. You can also drag and drop a file into the unified chat. Of course, you can post links. They are clickable in the unified chat, but you can also just drag and drop a file. If you want to send a file to everyone attending, you can do that. And the viewers that you're seeing right now and the participants, they are interchangeable. In other words, I can invite anyone from the viewers into the participants and vice versa. So and we have room for 15 people in the film strip. So you can do that at any time. It's not that you have registered as a viewer; you always stay registered. And another feature, finally, is the shared content. Most of you who joined this webinar before we started, while you were waiting, there was a video. That's the shared content, but you can also use it in the middle of the webinar. I can stop right now and share a video, a pre-recorded video, any video on YouTube or Vimeo, and let you watch for a few minutes or for whatever time needed, and then restart again with the webinar. So it's very convenient. Of course, that can be used to share surveys or polling the audience, send a quiz or a call to action if we are in a marketing environment. Some of our users who join us from Hangout on Air environment that they have used before tell us that they appreciate the all-in-one aspect with Business Hangouts. They don't need to set up in Google Calendar or something and then use the Google Plus event and then circle things and go through a series of different apps and tools and utilities in order to have the job done. Business Hangouts is a all-in-one app which does all that for you. I think Heather mentioned this as well, mentioning a one-stop shop for your purposes. So this one is an example of the shared video where how it looks like. You can use, for instance, the 4 windows and have your video on the side presenting a shared video. And it can also be used as a call to action for e-commerce or running a survey in that shared content video. Now, our own pricing. This is our pricing for Business Hangouts. Under do-it-yourself as a subscription, you have the free version, which gives some capabilities limited to 20 attendees. The Pro version actually gives you more capabilities, more features, with a call to action and branded emails and customized. You can have your logos and your banners everywhere, and basically remove many Business Hangouts logos there, and takes you up to 100 people simultaneously in your webinars, and it's only $19 a month. And the most popular one is the business plan. Why it is the most popular? Because it has a key feature of private events. The previous one, Pro and Standard, are necessarily public videos. But if you want your video to be private, you need the business plan. And also it takes you up to 200 simultaneous viewers, as well as removing totally all Business Hangouts logos everywhere, so it's really branded to your application. That plan is $49 a month or $490 a year. And then for those who need large webcasts with up to 6,000, then there is the annual plan of $2,000 a year, basically, which allows you to go very far in terms of the capacity of the room, and all with the same product, all with Business Hangouts, same user interface, same features. As Heather mentioned, when you go through the upgrades, you don't need to change the product in any way. That was the self-service, but we also have what we call managed services. In other words, we can run large events for you, and these are helpful, especially when you start with Business Hangouts and you don't want to miss your big event where you have a customer day or a CEO town hall or something important. Get us involved and we run it for you the same way we are running this event today. And that can be, a marketing event for lead generation. It could be an important training, sales kickoff, onboarding for new employees. It could be corporate town halls, investors webcasts. Could be many different cases that we can handle for you on Business Hangouts without you being bothered with the logistics. So you focus on the content and we run the event for you. Some of the tasks that we run during these events, how it works. Basically, we work with you. What needs to be done and what is the content, how many guests are there, who are the guests, help them, train them, coach them so that your meeting goes well. and then manage the whole technical aspect of setting up the event, managing the registrations and invitations and everything, customizing the environment, and at the end, once the event is over, delivering the list of attendees and statistics about that. So the idea is that having you focusing on the content and we deliver. And we have another platform, 3D Virtual Events, which is a 3D avatar-based environment, which is good for networking after a Business Hangouts session that we can also activate if you want to. So that's what I had to share. We're going to take some of the questions now and see what we have here. Someone is asking here, actually Roger is asking, is the screen I'm looking at the exact same screen I will see in the actual product? Not sure what you mean, but if your question is, as a host, are you seeing the same thing as a viewer? The answer is not exactly. As a host, you have a lot of buttons and features and everything available to you on the sites that the viewers don't see. But you do see the exact same video, the one which is being seen by the viewer. So for the video, yes, it's the exact same thing. For the rest, no. There's a question from Linda Bruce. What is the optimal audio setup for a participant? Is it optimal to use a headset microphone? Are there potential audio feedback issues? Is one is not using a headset and mic? I will give you my answer and then let Heather add anything if she wants to. The easy, fast answer is yes. Do use headsets with microphones so that you isolate the audio in the environment. Don't use the speakers, because the speaker's audio will go into the microphone and create feedback. So that's the easy, short answer. But someone watching me would say, well, then how do you do that? I don't have any of those AirBuds and those things. Then you can go and look for more sophisticated tools like the one I'm using, which is a I forget the model. I'm going to look at it right now and tell you. I've communicated on that several times. I'm not seeing it right now. I will post in the chat in a couple of minutes the exact model. This one is designed for video conferencing, and it has a very powerful auto cancellation, feedback cancellation, echo cancellation inside the hardware on top of what Hangouts has. Hangout does have that, but these are not perfect solutions, so you should test it out. That's why I said the easy answer is yes, but there are ways to get around that. Anything to add to that, Heather?
Yeah, I just have a couple things. So I personally do not have a special mic. So when I train, everyone hears me clicking, which can be distracting. When I watch the video, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm clicking so much, and it sounds really loud. So I always recommend to my customers to definitely get a, you can get a camera that already has the microphone in it. They're called Logitech cameras. Logitech. I'll put it in the chat for you too. And it has a built-in microphone. That's one I always recommend. And then you can get a headset. A lot of the ones for the telephones have a built-in microphone in them, so you can talk on that. So that's another option. You don't have to go huge high-tech and spend tons of money on it. It's not like television. You can go very low-tech to do it.
Wonderful. So let's see, we have another question from Aaron Perkins, who is asking, once I complete the Business Hangout session and send out the video, who all can access the video? Do they just need the link, or will they require some sort of login to view it? It's you. It's up to you to decide what you want to do. Both cases that you mentioned, Aaron, are possible. So one way to do it, if you want to keep it private, then use the same link that, for instance, for this meeting, you are able to reuse your link after the event, right after the event, or days after, or months after, anytime. And that's one of the beauties, as Heather mentioned, because the recording is immediately available. You can come back here at any time with that same link and watch it in private. So, and you will see the chat as well. It's a real replay. It's a nice replay. So that's the best way if you want to have it private. Now, if it's a public one, well, the video is on YouTube, and through your YouTube account, you can manage the settings and make it public, private, or unlisted. And then if you want to share that link with your audience so that they can see it publicly, that's another option.
There was a question too about, do you have to have a special login? If you're using the Business Hangouts, that registration link is your special login, and that will take you right there. If you want to share it to someone outside the presentation who didn't attend, then they'll have to register using that registration link to get to the video. But the other thing you can do is you can share right through YouTube, which is what I do a lot. So when you're going into your Google+, you go to your events, and then go to the event, and then click on the event, and then you'll see the YouTube icon. If you just go to your YouTube account, you won't see it because it's private. So when you go to the YouTube icon, it takes you to that private link that they've set up through Business Hangouts, and then you can share through there if you want. So there's lots of ways to share, and it doesn't have to be straightforward. And the thing that we do is, like I said before, is the client isn't all on Google+. So we've been sharing through the G Drive, and so I've been uploading it to the G Drive and then sharing it with the client. So some people are still on Outlook, so they do go to YouTube. Some people are already on Google, but they don't have YouTube. So there's been different situations that we've had to deal with.
Great. Next question from Dana Kramer. Is the video private, Business Hangouts level? So yes, that's exactly the point. The video can stay private after the replay, and you use the same link to view it. Question about the banner on the top. So there is a banner on the top left. It's again something you can customize, Roger. So for instance, if you don't want to see the banner at the top, as a host, I just remove the banner at the top, so you are no more seeing the banner at the top. So you can pretty much customize your environment with putting the banner or removing it. Same thing for the viewers. You can remove the viewers or put them back. Right now, I just removed the viewers, and I'm going to put back the banner and the viewers. So sorry for everyone. I just messed you up with all your user interface just to answer Roger. Now I put them back, everything, and we're good. At least Roger had the proof that all that is possible, and it's also possible before the event or in real time during the event if you have forgot that.
Darius, one of the big things we didn't really talk about, and this is a kind of on that customization thing, is I do webinars all the time, and the automatic reminders that you guys have set up in your system is one of my favorites. So I typically, because I'm on Google, it doesn't have a really simple integration with WebEx. So typically I have to take all the WebEx information, put it in the invite everyone, then I have to remind myself, 20 minutes before the event to remind everyone else. So that's one of the really nice features about Business Hangouts. That is all automated for you. You can set it up for a day before to remind everyone, 20 minutes before, 5 minutes before. You have 3 different reminders in there, and you can customize those to come from you, not Business Hangouts, and saying, we're looking forward to you coming to XYZ presentation from Heather. It's great.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that, Heather. I also noticed a question about having the event in your calendar. As a host, when you create the event, unless you uncheck the parameter, it goes automatically into your Google event calendar with no additional action for the host required. And for the attendees, they have the option with Outlook and Google Calendar in their invitation in the template, which is by default. You can change that, of course, where they can add that through their action into their calendar. So it's quite integrated with Google Calendars as well.
Something to be aware of, those of you who are coming from a WebEx or GoToWebinar system, that link that gets put in your calendar as the host is your host code of, kind of that concept that we're used to in the legacy systems. In Business Hangouts, the link that they're sending you is your host code or your host link. So if you share that with someone else or put people into that invite, they're going to go in and it will have your name already populated in there because it's your unique link. So don't treat that particular invite as a host code and put a registration link in the other one, or when they register, they're going to get their own link, so you don't have to worry about them.
Absolutely. Dana is asking if the standard plan allows private videos. No, it does not. The private is in the $49 business plan, and that's a very, very important feature. So not available in the free plan. Looks like we went through all the questions, and it's exactly time to stop this webinar. It was great having everyone here. Thank you very much, Heather, for spending the time with us this morning. And I'm going to post a few links in the chat, so stay with us at least for those links. I'm not a multitask person, so I can't do that at the same time. Just want to say bye to everyone and let Heather conclude this meeting today.
Thank you so much, and I really appreciate you giving me this forum to talk about a great product and that I enjoy using.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you very much. Bye, everyone.